Opinions expressed are that of the Sunday Funday podcast. John Bocanegra, Amber Edwards, Curtis Spivey, Dom Lawrence, or any guest host, or bystander at the time of recording. Any opinions stated do not reflect that of any entity or outside association to the personalities in or associated with the Sunday Funday podcast. Now take a load off. Oh. I'm telling you, man, this song's dope.
I know, I like it.
Welcome to the Sunday Funday podcast. I'm your host, John Bocanegra, along with nobody, because nobody else is here today. It's just me by myself. I'm in my room. I'm at my desk where most of my work gets done. Y'all have seen the desk before. It was at the. It was in the little video that I had, the appreciation video. I still very much appreciate everyone for tuning in, either whether it's iTunes, Google Play Music, SoundCloud, or YouTube. Thanks. We very much appreciate it. Make sure you give us the likes, subscribe to us on the YouTube page, wherever you're at. Leave us a review in iTunes or Google Play Music as well. Little bit of a housekeeping thing right now. Curtis hasn't been on the show in a while. It's not through anything, like he's not like sick or anything. He's just taking care of business. He's been super busy lately, and he'll be back on the show. Most likely after the Super Bowl. We have a ton of guests lined up, actually. Okay, I say a ton. It's more like 3 or 4. But Curtis will be back with us too. Amber, I decided to give everybody the Sunday off since it's Super Bowl Sunday. I don't know if you heard that in the background, but that's my brother. He's on the line right now.
I accidentally hit speaker. I'm sorry.
He's on the Shell Pennzoil Performance line.
That is not it. Don't say names like that because y'all can't afford that.
They actually pay us if we say it more than
that's right. They can afford y'all.
That's a lie. No, I'm with it's just me and my brother today. I was gonna get my little brother to come out, and he's doing the daddy thing though. He's taking care of the childrens, the little niece and nephew.
The babies.
The babies. So it's just us. Oh man, dude. Oh yeah, I was telling you about okay, so yesterday my weekend was about as eventful as it could get.
Oh yeah, tell me about your weekend, because this is the first time I'm gonna hear about it.
Oh yeah, this is the first time you're gonna hear about it, because we don't ever talk ever.
Because the weekend just happened.
The weekend.
Because it's Sunday. It's Sunday Funday.
Yeah, that's why we call it Sunday Funday. People still don't get why we call it that. It's like, no, we record it during the week. We record it during Sunday. And then we just release it on Monday. That's why it's called Sunday Funday.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, I don't get... So
people are like... Because I had told Leah that too, and she was like, why do they call it, like, they go out and, like, they have drinks or something? And I was like, man, that would be awesome. Like a brunch podcast. Like, they have mimosas and stuff, and they actually, like, drink and stuff. But no, it's not that. It's not that cool.
That would be cool. I was thinking... Because Flips is a very unique location, and I think having the podcast there would be kind of cool. I mean, they're all with it over there. They're hip. They got the pinballs.
Okay. Like an on location type thing.
We're thinking about that, actually. We were thinking about it. Oh, anyway. Friday was the first Friday art trail. I took some Snapchats. I don't know if you saw... Oh, you saw one of the pictures that I had posted. I didn't post anything on Instagram, though.
You should. That's
dude, actually, no. I was...
We're actually... Me and Leah are on the assumption that Snapchat is actually for, like, single people.
Oh yeah, you can say this because you're married.
Because it's like, I tried to use it one time. I was like, yeah, I'll see what it's about. So I had downloaded it and all that stuff because you were like, yeah, we're posting stories in Snapchat. I was like, cool, I'll see what it's about. And then, like, it's okay. I think the time that I had jumped on it, though, was when Instagram started doing, where you can do video and, like, and pictures. And then they also had, like, the orientation where you can import your own picture and you can have the aspect ratio how you want it. But I got into it and it's just like, okay, this is kind of cool. Like, it's almost like this is before Facebook Live started doing those stuff. But it's like people would use Snapchat to live stream stuff, and I was just like, oh, like that's cool. Like you're at like a football game or something, like cool. But I couldn't get into it, dude. And I was like, yeah, I think the appeal is for more young people. Like they're stupid. The 2-minute attention spans. It's actually gone down, actually. Science has said that the average attention span is lower now.
Wait, no, hold up. First you said single people, and then you said young people, which is both, I guess? No, you said single people first. No.
Because kids are single.
Of course they are. No one's dating in third grade.
Yeah,
Well, if
no,
they are,
well,
that's
I
kind of
got the
weird.
single person vibe because obviously, you can send a picture to somebody and it disappears. Like, ooh, I'm naughty, click, and then like it's gone within like however long. You can set a time for it, right? See, I don't know how this
Yeah,
works.
it's like on a scale of 1 to 10 seconds. They're like, "Ooh, I don't want him to take a screenshot of this picture, so I'll set it to 1 seconds." And then the guy's like,
1 second
"Ah."
snap.
Then he's like, "Send me another one, girl, and I dare you to send it like for 5 seconds." And she's like,
I could never understand propositioning somebody for a picture like that. Like that seems the worst way to go about things.
"Does it? You were long distance once."
Well, that's because we were long distance. Like, and you had to like, like, hey, send me a picture. Like, it was like maybe like once a week or something. Like, hey, look at me. I'm like working, or like, ah, I miss you, kissy face. I didn't do that.
So you think?
But that makes more sense for long distance. But like if you're a guy and a girl and y'all live like 10 minutes away from each other, like y'all don't need to be doing that. And then especially
You're right, Joe. Just get naked in person. You're right.
just get naked in person. Yeah, exactly. Like like I'm gonna show you. Also, I don't get like I'm gonna show you my pee. Like man, I don't want.
Schlonger.
Because I know, me and Chanel had talked about this, who you should have on your show also, because she's fantastic.
Oh, okay, no, I'm super serious about having you on it. When I go there for Fan Expo in late
Oh
March.
yes, dude, because I'm super down for it.
I
We'll
mean,
just replace one
it'll just
sassy
be
black
three of us.
person with another.
Yeah, it'll be just three of us. So it'll be like, hey, Sunday Funday on the road. I'm not gonna call it that. It's just because my setup's so portable anyway. So it's just gonna be Sunday Funday podcast with
Yeah.
along with Chanel Jones.
Shit.
We have to
Chanel Pear.
and Joe
No, but
Bocanegra.
me and Chanel were talking about that. Like, Chanel was like, that's like the least flattering, like anatomically, like excitable part of the male body. And I was like,
No, I
and we
think that's
looked up
general. That's general consensus, though, dude.
yeah, we had looked it up too. There was like a study to where like women are, I think women are attracted obviously like the smile, like your hair, and your shoulders for some reason.
That's weird.
Your shoulders and like what was it? I guess like another physical feature, but definitely not that part of your
The
body.
face. Was it the face? Was it teeth? Teeths?
Yeah, like I said, like eyes, hair, your shoulders, and like some girl said forearms, and I was like, oh, that's odd.
That's
Send me a picture. Send me a picture of your
wrists.
forearms, baby.
Show me your sexy flexy wrists.
Sexy flexiness. No, but I couldn't get into Snapchat for that reason. Like it was. I guess because you couldn't review anything, and that's what I like about Instagram. Which I actually jumped on Instagram after you did. You had convinced me to get it. What was it like 6 months after you
Yeah,
got
because I was like,
yours?
you're doing all this cool stuff. You're taking all these pictures. Just get the Insta snap.
And at the time, I was like, it was another concept. I was like, oh, but you can post pictures on Facebook, like, and it's just images. But then like Facebook had their formatting thing, and like they were kind of similar. So it was, and you can do the post where you post on Instagram and it goes to Facebook. So it was like, oh, cool. Like, and I had my first tweet or my first post on Instagram was actually me holding a sign. It's like, all right, John, you win. I'm up on that Instagram now.
Yep, I remember that.
Thanks, John.
Switch up the
You gonna put a picture of that on y'all's Facebook page?
I notice how every time we reference something that's very visual or something that nobody has seen, we just say, "Yeah, we'll put it up on the page," and then we end up putting it on the page. Most times
Hey,
we
then y'all
don't.
know. Then y'all never
I was
do.
gonna say
Oh, I'm mad
most times
about
we
that.
don't. Oh, I'm not in charge of that. I'm in charge of the
Well, y'all need
recording and the mastering, and I'm just there's 4 people in charge of this. It's not one person in particular.
to. I like how you just threw them under the bus. Like, hey, that's not me. I'm just doing my job
Well,
over
I mean, I
here.
can't do
It's,
it. No. Here, send me the picture, and then I'll put it on the thing.
maybe you just give me the login and I'll do
The password's
it. The
we have
password's big booties 69. Oh yeah, but
Peony
you
Snapchat.
went to the first Friday thing. How'd that go?
Yeah, it was good. I was there with John Ryan of the Artication podcast. Shout out to Artication. Man, their likes have ballooned, dude. Friday it was like at 50 something, and then over the weekend they jumped up to almost 300 people.
Good Lord.
Yeah, they invited all their
That's that
friends.
I was to say that's that Friends and Family Network. They're all like Verizon over here.
They're all Alltel over here.
Altel. Oh my God. So you say Altel because we're both the happy customers of Verizon. We used to be with Altel. Altel got bought out by Verizon. We used to share a phone in high school. Our first phone was the. Y'all remember the phones from like the Matrix? You press the buttons on the side and the panel flies up. Like the screen flies up and you can see the dial pad. Like ours is like that, except it was light blue with white trim.
Ah, I can't remember the name of it.
I can't remember the name either. We'll find that picture. We'll put that on the.
Oh my God! Stop.
But we shared a phone in high school, and so like everyone's like, "Oh, that's weird. What if you like had a girlfriend and like you're trying to talk to them?"
Oh,
Well,
see,
then,
I always tell the joke. It's like, yeah, me and my brother in high school, we always shared a phone, so it made sexting kind of awkward.
Which I don't. That wasn't. I guess it was a thing then, but like not for us, because like we had. Well, first of all, we had pretty much the same friends. So like whenever we were texting somebody, it was just like to get a hold of either of us.
Uh-huh.
Not like we're the same person, but like we were both gonna be there anyways. Like yeah, I'm usually down for what John's doing, and the other way around. So like we
See,
both
when
just
you're
text
usually
the
down,
same.
it's usually when I get in trouble. Like that
Yeah,
one time.
exactly.
Okay, so Joe's wife I had in my psychology class, and there was this weekend where my homie, shout out to JJ. I don't know if he listens to. I don't think he does. Anyway, he took us out one night. He was like, "Yeah, we're going to this thing." I was like, "Okay, cool." And it turned out to be a mud wrestling party. So you know how things go in college. And it was like, "Yeah, I don't know how many people do
No,
that
actually,
actually.
it was the lingerie party. That was a different party.
No, well, we took you to we took you to
Yep,
both of them.
from bad to worse,
Yep,
everybody.
from bad to worse. That one was just.
The mud wrestling party was kind of sad because not because it was like whack, but it was because the I guess the girl that was beating everybody, she hurt her knee.
Oh
They had
yeah.
concrete under the swimming pool. They had a swimming pool filled with mud, and they were wrestling in it. And you
How do
had to
you?
pin
No, no,
your
no. Hang
opponent.
on. How do you like coordinate? Like, okay, we're gonna get a bunch of dirt. We're gonna get a bunch of water. We're gonna get a bunch of beers.
Well, it's like yeah, you like
We
hey
go mud
man,
wrestling.
so we need mud. How are we gonna make? Where can you buy mud?
They should have just did. I think that was the most cost effective at the time. They could have did lube. They could have did Jello. They could have did
Oh heck
anything.
no, lube is too expensive, especially in college, dude. Like in
Nah,
college
you can buy by the gallon.
yeah, like who has a Costco or Sam's, or they didn't have Costco at the time, but who has
No,
a
they didn't.
Sam's Club membership? It's like, oh, I need a 55-gallon drum of lubricant. Thank you, please. Do
Uh,
y'all deliver? Do y'all deliver by chance? I'm just wondering
I'm
for a
just
friend.
wondering.
I'm asking for a friend.
Can you keep the privacy? Like, can you just change the label on the outside so it's like grease or like cooking oil or something?
It just says Acme on the outside. Can you just put that? What if you go in and you're in a disguise? So you go in like Little Rascal style. You have
Oh my
a
god.
guy on your shoulders. You have a guy on your shoulders, and you have this giant, long, like 10-foot trench coat, and you walk in with a hat and a beard. You're just
I
like,
would
I
like to
would like
purchase your finest lubricants.
top shelf, please, at once, post haste.
That means there's low shelf lubricant.
What's it made out of? Like vegetable oil?
It just turns into like powder.
Uh,
Ugh. Like when you chew
that
gum
means
too much and it just turns into powder.
I've never seen that happen.
Oh, anyway, took Joe to that party. I don't think he got in trouble for that one, but it was the lingerie party. So it was
It
like
was yeah.
the ladies dress up in their lingerie and the guys dress up like all fly, like in ties and stuff. But we were in college, so we didn't know how to dress ourselves. Which was looking back on it, if I could change anything in my past, it would be probably me knowing how to dress myself.
Oh yeah. I learned a lot of style through college, like, and then afterward, I read a lot of GQ. Shout out to GQ. Read a lot of GQ, learned some style, saw some stuff, and I was like, oh, cool. So I'm pretty presentable now. But yeah, ooh, I was a dork back then.
You're like, I don't know how Leah's parents accepted me into their family.
I actually had told her that. I was like, I don't know what the heck you saw in me. Like, man, I was a super dork. Like, so junior year, I had hair that was kind of long. So like, if you measure
Nah,
the
no,
length
no,
of
no.
your
Not like long like it is now with the nice, the
no, no,
coiffed.
no. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I was about to say, like if you pull your bangs down, mine were like just past my eyes. Like that's how bad. But it was like that length all over, and it was like, oh man, it was
Looking
bad.
like 2004 Manu Ginobili.
That's exactly what I looked like. Big nose and everything.
I was saying this to Adriana the other day too, because I was talking about how we had the Pontiac, and I was like,
Oh
man,
yeah.
the Pontiac was all just messed up, dude. The wing mirrors were broken and hanging off. The freaking sometimes the heater didn't work. No, the heater did work. The heater and air
No,
conditioner
the
did
heater.
work.
I would say the only thing that was wrong with it is like we broke the wing mirrors off. I broke one off twice. That sucked. And then the radiator cracked. We
That car
replaced
was
that,
old
but
though.
yeah, I was gonna say it was old. It was super reliable though. Like we think about it this way:
It was
we
made with
drove
those
30
GM
miles
parts.
or 60. We drove 60 miles every Tuesday, Thursday
Uh huh.
for 4 years,
Yep.
and that
2 years
was
for each degree.
yep, exactly. And that was yeah, that car was the jam, dude. But I definitely would not want to keep it. I'm glad you didn't keep it. What y'all end up doing with it
Well, after
anyway?
the radiator had cracked, I ended up repairing that, and I was like, you know what's going to keep happening with this thing, and I don't know if I necessarily want to keep it. And
I,
I was back living with mom and dad at that point, so I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get my own car. So I hit the streets, did the research, and got the 2014 Dodge Dart.
Booyah!
Yeah.
It's a super dope car. Like I don't like driving. What the heck? Oh, why is this playing?
No, I like it. I mean, it suits me. The color, the wheels, the accents, all of that stuff.
It's low profile too, but it also has enough flash. Like that's essentially John right there. Like he likes to keep a low profile, but he also has still has got that style. Like and once you see him, you'll be like, oh, yep, that's John. Like he's got that swagger to him.
What's that Reek G's lyric? From Web.
Uh, um, where
Ah,
he's describing like you have to come back to it.
yeah,
But I was
yeah.
gonna say that there's a contrast in John's car to my car. I have a 2010 Funday accent, and it's blue, four-door car, really cool. Has power windows, has a radio, has an air conditioner. Did you know that on some cars air conditioning isn't standard?
What? Nah, anything
Yeah,
that's like before 2004.
no, anything because Leah has a 2011 Sentra,
Uh huh.
and she was like, she's very savvy. She's super savvy actually when it comes to like, bargains and buying stuff cheaper than you should and all that. Like, not cheap stuff, but being like being frugal and being smart about your money. Leah wanted the base model of her car. Her car was brand new when she got it
Uh
in
huh.
Austin.
Hey, mine was
But
too.
she wanted the base model, and they were like, okay, well the base model it just doesn't come with AC. She wanted like regular windows, like not power windows. She wanted regular windows, she wanted like just the AC. She didn't need like the seats that are power seats or anything like that, and nothing fancy.
Uh huh.
They were like, yeah, the base model has everything except an air conditioner. She was like,
Nah,
what?
nah.
Yeah, exactly.
We,
Especially
we
in
live in
Central
we live in
Texas. I think,
Texas, man. She should have just said that too.
yeah,
Like we live in Texas. What do you think I'm stupid?
Central Texas in the summer, pretty bad. So she was like, nope. So she was hesitant. She bit the bullet, got the regular car, which is it's really nice. And she got it off it didn't even touch the lot yet. So since it technically didn't have a lot, they have a fee to process a car when it comes onto the lot.
Uh huh.
It was still on the truck. And she got it for like $600 off because it hadn't touched the lot yet.
They gave me a lot
Yeah.
discount since my car was on the lot. And it was like, yeah, it's like $2,000 off. I was like, oh, cool,
Holy poop.
dude.
Maybe
I
it was more
essentially
than
just
that.
walked off with that car because it was like, yeah, you got this, and he's like, let me get you the keys, and then I'll get you the paperwork. I was like, hold up, that's supposed to be in the other order, man.
You can fill out the paperwork when you're driving home and then just bring it back like later in the
Dude,
week.
and no joke, that's when I went to go pick you and Chanel up. Remember?
I
Y'all were at
remember
the
that.
hotel, and I just drove over there. You're like, why is it taking so dang long? And I was like, yep, here I am,
Yeah,
in
I
the
was
brand
like,
new whip.
we gotta hang out, and we have a very little amount of time to hang out, and this fool's taking his sweet time. And then you were like, I looked at the car, and I was like, when did you get this? You were like, just now.
2 minutes ago, even though it took me 15 to get over here. Oh,
Oh yeah, but yeah.
yeah, going back to my
Finish the,
weekend. God, we just going off tangents, man. Freaking
yeah, that's a problem that we have too. Like, especially anytime we call each other, which I think you're the person I call the most.
yeah. Dom is creeping up now because we practically talk every other day now. Well, almost every
Yeah, I was gonna
day.
say shit. Chanel's pretty high up there for me, like, because she lives in Arlington and I live in Halton City. So like we're not as close physically as we were. Like, hey, you live 10 minutes away? Cool, let's hang out.
Did you consider coming with us to Austin? Because I think we're going the birthday weekend for us. Because our birthday's on Thursday this year, which was our actual birthday.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, we were born on a
Ooh,
Thursday. Yeah, Thursday night,
7:20 p.m.
7:21 p.m. Who was first?
7:22.
The chicken or the egg?
Oh, that's dumb. Also, the chicken was first.
Yeah, I was saying that too. Because who's gonna nurture the egg?
And the egg is just a form of how they have offspring, how they produce offspring. Well, anyway, yeah, I'm down to go.
Yeah, birthday weekend.
Who
So
else
should
do
we
I know in
stop?
Austin?
Should
I
we
mean,
stop
Tracy.
in?
Tracy lives there. Travis lives there.
Frankie lives there.
Frankie lives there. It's my best friend, Frankie.
Shout out to Frankie, your homegirl.
My homegirl. We're
Your
besties, and
super best
I
friend,
don't
and
even
y'all
hang
don't even ever hang out that much.
out. Yeah, that's true.
That's not outside of a public setting.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
I
so
had told her about
artication.
it too, because this was around the time Dom was like, "Yeah, man, it'd be really cool if y'all came to San Antonio." I was like, "Yeah, it would be cool." He was talking about
I
like
haven't
going
been to
to a
San.
game and stuff, and I was like, "Nah, man, we don't have to go to a game to make it cool."
Also, in June, it's going to be the finals. Like that's going to be if we make it, which I feel like we will.
Yeah,
That's
I
a
was thinking that
super
too. I was like, I mean, unless we're gonna get finals tickets and spend like $500
right.
just
That's the whole. That's
just
the
for
whole.
standing room only.
Oh yeah, tell me
We'll be
about
on the
artication,
mezzanine,
John.
huh?
Tell me about artication and your first Friday thing.
Oh yeah, come back to all that. First Friday was dope. I was hanging out with John Ryan from Artication. He's the one of the four hosts. They have four people. One of the four hosts for Artication. Their podcast is about the art community in Lubbock, pretty much. Just how they're a bunch of tech students. One's a sculptor, one's a printer. One does ceramics, one does metalwork and jewelry and craftsmanship and all that fine craftsmanship. And they're all just getting together. They needed someone to kind of they needed the last piece of the puzzle, so to speak. So John Ryan was talking to me by chance, dude, by chance. Oh, okay, I was having a discussion with a coworker of mine about how I don't believe things happen for a reason. I believe
Uh-huh.
things happen for no reason, like random, dude. Sometimes things can be random, and I think
So
that
you're opposed to the idea of fate predetermined script.
yeah,
Okay, that makes sense.
because I don't know, man. It's just like I can't remember who I was talking to about this, or it was probably some piece of media that I was watching. It was like, so no matter what I do, oh no, I was talking to JJ about this a long time ago. Cause it was me, him, and Travis. Cause you know how Travis is like
Uh-huh.
the freaking uh, he'll counter anything. Like, and Travis has studied religion. He studied a couple of religions, maybe three.
Uh-huh.
And we were all talking, and I was like, nah, I can't. I just can't wrap my head around that. Like, not like my head's gonna explode if I try to think about it, cause that would be weird. There's a glitch in the matrix, and that's what happens. Like he's questioning the matrix. Oh no, they send the agents after you. Never mind. No, but I was like, no, it's not just. I'll get back to that in a minute. Hang on, we're straying from the path. Um, yeah, we did first Friday, and it was cool. It's a little cold. This was like the first before the season actually starts warming up. Out there at First Friday, it's by the Luca building, the Louise Hopkins Underwood Center,
Uh-huh.
and they have an outside venue, like they have a little mini stage. It's like a little like a very small amphitheater. They have this car garage that's been gutted out, and they turned it into a couple galleries. There's a place for a live band to play out there. There's food trucks, there's beer and stuff. It's awesome.
Dang.
They didn't have any of that this time though, because it was cold.
Oh God.
No, but it was just me and John Ryan, and we were walking around. He was telling me a little bit about like the people that actually, because he knows like most of the people that put pieces out there, dude. He runs a gallery too, so he knows what it takes to actually get pieces set up and stuff at
Oh
IRA.
yeah, yeah, because he's in the. I feel like a lot of the art scene that's building now is from the art department at Tech. I think that kind of helps a lot, especially Lubbock having the art department like right there, in Tech, and then they can just kind of filter off into Lubbock.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Because we were talking with this about we were talking about this with Jeremy too. Shout out to Jeremy, by the way. Thanks for coming on our last episode. He is a real cool dude to talk to. I ran into him out there too. He was actually at this poetry reading. Okay, so me and John Ryan are walking around. He's telling me about the people behind the art. And we're talking. We're like shooting the breeze, pretty much, like getting to know each other a little bit more. This is a cool dude. He's a real cool dude, real chill, kind of dorky like us, but he's cool. And we went to the. Jeremy texted me, and we went to the poetry thing. It wasn't like slam poetry kind of thing, but it was just people reading excerpts from this this transcript of this protest that happened in 1992, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a bunch of really cool stories. And I had mentioned to John Ryan, I was like, dude, it's kind of like history's repeating itself, because it was talking about some protest that happened on this Indian reservation in 1992, and then how these people got together to march on Pennsylvania Avenue, Washington D.C. So I was like, man, this seems weird, it's surreal too, because it's like history repeating itself. And if you had not known that it was a transcription from 1992, it would sound like it was modern day, like it would sound like it was today.
Oh, shoot.
But we were in there, and this funny thing happened. There was this performance art piece, like this dude dressed up in a zombie mask and had like the Make America Great Again hat. He had like a mask of him, like as a zombie Donald Trump. And he had the hair and everything, the suit and all that. But he looked like a zombie. Like his face, it was like a mask, a rubber mask he put over your face. And it was green.
Yeah.
And he was walking through, and he had this Bluetooth speaker, and he was holding it like a cell phone to his ear, and it was just blasting the music. This freaking happens in the middle of the read. So while this girl's on stage reading these 4 poems that she wrote, freaking zombie Trump comes in and just starts blasting the music, and everybody turned around, and I was like, what is happening here? I thought it was planned. I thought they were like, yeah, and they like throw eggs at him and stuff.
Well, it sounds like performance art, where he, our very outspoken president, he, barges in with the things that he says and the things that he does, and kind of derails
and just,
what was going on.
Just comes in and blasts beats. It was cool.
Blast beats. What kind of music? Was it like trap music?
Yeah, it was actually.
Oh, that's perfect.
No, but he ran up on the set, pretty much just interrupted everybody, and then the girl she was a trooper though, she kept reading through that. Anyway, after that, they read excerpts from the actual transcription. I was talking to Jeremy for a little bit, and I was like, dude, next time we gotta hang out and have some drinks. Yeah, cool. Me and John Ryan.
That show with Jeremy was great, by the way. That was super awesome.
Yeah, his girlfriend was there with us, and I had asked her, I was like, this is stuff you already knew about him though, right? And she's like, yeah. I was like, but I was like, if you were somebody on the outside looking in, you obviously are. I was like,
yes.
Did you get to know more about him, like as a guest and like as a person, not just like? And this is what I like to try to do because we did it with Mike before.
Mm-hmm.
It's get people to say what they're about, like what they do for a living, or something that they're really dedicated to, and then get to know them as a person underneath it. Because everybody,
I completely got all that from that interview, and then even with Mike. Like I've known of him because I think I met him a couple times, hanging out with Danae and them. But yeah, I was like, yeah, he's a cool dude. We were at like a house party, like as well as you get to know somebody at a house party. But then like going through his history and like where he came up from, and dude, and then he has like really good stories too. It's like, so as long as you keep getting good guests that have good things to say, you'd be on the right track. You're gonna go downhill with me on the show though.
No, I don't think we will.
Too much. I'm too much like you, so it's like.
And this is Joe, by the way. This is Joe, by the way. It's not me talking to a recording of myself through a cell phone.
Oh yeah. That would be such an elaborate thing to try to plan. Like,
you know how much time that would waste.
That would be the biggest waste of time ever. So like in junior high and in high school, we would always tell people, like in junior high, it wasn't as common because people knew we were twins because our junior high, junior highs are smaller. But in our high school and like even in college, I'd be like, oh yeah, like what's an interesting thing about yourself? And I'm like, oh, I have a twin. And back in the day, everyone's just like, oh yeah, sure, I have a twin too. And that's why I never really brought it up, especially the people that I work with now. Like when I worked in live production, and then when I worked at the 2 photography places that I worked.
People that I tell that I don't just go, hey everyone, I'm a twin. I don't go around saying that at work, but people don't believe me then, and I'll show them a picture from your Facebook, and they'll think it's Photoshop. Like, no way, that's fake. I was like, why would I waste my time and effort on something like this?
That's what I was thinking too. Is like, who would put up all this effort for such an elaborate ruse? Like, yeah, I'm gonna trick everybody into thinking I have a twin. So it's like, what's the ends to the means? Like, I can act normal how I want to, and then I can act cooler and say it's my twin. Or I can, well, in my case, I could act cooler to be you. But then, like, in another case, in another case, also I could act like a complete jerk, and then I can also be you.
Yep, that's God. Apparently, I'm the mean twin. I'm the evil twin. I have the mustachioed look and the conniving grin.
And it looks like you're up to something, but you're not really. And then people will kind of get that vibe from you, like when you're in the room, because like,
oh my God.
So we'll go through these real quick then, since everyone's like, oh, twins. Let's ask
Yeah,
questions
go ahead,
about
go ahead.
So we do think the same things most of the time. We're very on point, like when it comes to being like-minded. Like if we ever played charades, we would kill everybody because like
Oh, we
we
did
wouldn't
once
have
though.
to.
Remember at
Yeah.
Fan Expo last year? No, 2 years ago.
Yep.
We don't
Yeah.
feel each other's
We're
pain.
always on the same. Sorry, I muted my mic so you couldn't hear me.
Oh,
Clear my throat.
can hear you throwing up.
Um, yeah, we're always pretty much on the same page. We can't feel each other's pain, so like that's. I wish that was a thing.
No,
'Cause
I
then
mean
like
it's
you'd
not
be,
like I got punched in the face and then your face starts hurting. That would be weird. Also, we should make a movie like that, like Twin
no, oh my
Dragons.
God. Yeah, like Jackie Chan did that movie
Yeah,
of the same name.
yeah. Except we'll call it Parent Trap.
Oh, okay, so like the idea of it is like, we meet at like a camp. So we can meet at a camp
Uh-huh.
and then like we find out that we're like twins and then we try to get our parents to hook up so we can become family twins.
Why would two grown adults listen to their children to get back together about like? Why would they listen to their kids about relationship advice?
Because like, kids, I think it's because they brought up the fact that like, oh, kids want a complete family and like that's a big deal, you know? Like parents are gonna
That's
listen to
kind
that
of you
like,
can't just make that happen.
yeah, you can just marry that lady. Was she British or something? I don't remember.
Yeah, and then one of the twins didn't have an accent. What's up with that?
Because she was born in America, or she was American twin.
Why are we talking about this?
Because the parent. Okay, back to the twin stuff. Yeah, so we don't really feel each other's pain necessarily, but we do have empathy for like we can pick up on that really well with each other. So like whenever we used to live together and John was like in a bad mood or something, I could kind of tell. Or like whenever he knew I was like excited about something or if I was nervous about something, like John could always tell. We could always tell with each other. So that's definitely a true thing. Not necessarily feeling each other's pain, but definitely reading each other, like the physical part and the emotional part. Like, oh man, like what's up with this fool?
I think we used that to each other's advantage and disadvantage, especially when we were playing against each other, like basketball or whatever
Oh
it is.
God, yeah, dude. We would especially like reading body language, like, all right, this feels tired. I just gotta be a little bit less tired than him, and I can probably win this
Or
game,
if it
like
was
one
me
on
hitting
one.
jump shots in your face, I was like, okay, I can tell he doesn't like that, and I can tell he can't step to me on this side of the court or whatever. And it's like, if I keep hitting this shot and I keep talking noise, we'll get in a fight, and the dad will break it up by hitting us both in the head. Wasn't that
Oh, like it
was that
actually,
our 16th
like it
birthday?
actually happened.
That was our
16th
16th
birthday.
birthday, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, that was a terrible
That was,
birthday.
that was a brutal fight too, and like we're not really brawlers. We're not really scrappy. Beto, our little brother, like oh man, he's been in more fights. He's been in as many fights as Dad had.
He's been in more fights than both of us put together, for sure.
But yeah, we fought on the 16th birthday, talking mess. We moved to the side. I can't even remember if the game ended. Like if somebody won the game.
I'm pretty sure it was just over after that. Because
So
it was me just
we
running
stepped
my
to the
mouth.
sidewalk. We stepped to the sidewalk. We started pushing each other. It escalates obviously. We start throwing hands. And with us too, like we're kind of keen on like boxing and stuff. So like it was more of a defensive thing than anything. We're just like trying to break the defense down so we can get a punch in. But then that
We
ended up,
analyzed it.
that
It was
ended
like
up.
that Sherlock Holmes scene in the second one. Was it Game of Shadows?
Yeah, that's exactly what it was like. It's like, okay, I'm going to throw a right cross here, and then like he's going to block it, counter punch, and all that stuff. Like that was kind of what it was like.
And then I was like,
A
nope,
little
gouge
bit.
his eyes out.
Yeah, no, like it moved into the street, then we got into like a clinch, and then like I freaking judoed John to the ground. So I put my right foot past his right foot, and then just whoop threw him onto the ground.
Yep.
Did that hurt?
Judoed me and made me fly in the air. Yeah, it hurt.
Because you just like hit the ground, and I was like, did I knock his air out? I don't care. And we were just like wrestling, and then he was like trying to gouge me, and the pops was like, well, that's it, that's over. Boom! Right on our heads. And our dad, he's like short, he's stocky, he's muscular,
Yep.
and like super strong and swollen.
He's short, he's stocky, he doesn't look like our dad. Alex, after you had moved away, Alex thought that he was our cousin. She's like, "Oh, is that your cousin? Like on the porch, just hanging out?" And I was like, "No, that's my dad." She's like, "What?"
He's like super cholo looking too. Also really pale. Really pale, got a mustache, really bald.
Yeah, I think that's gonna skip us. Baldness runs on the mother side of the family. Did you know that?
Yes, I did, because I'm smarter than you.
No, you didn't. No, you ain't.
You didn't answer both of those. I thought you were gonna say, because I'm smarter than you. No, you didn't. Like that was gonna be your answer. See, I was like, that's proof. That's proof of how dumb you are.
Oh, you mentioned Danae earlier. I was actually at her parents' house yesterday. We had like the surprise engagement thing. I didn't get to mention it on air last week because I was like, "Ooh, I almost ruined it." And Amber gave me this perplexed look. She was like, "What are you talking about?" We went to Danae's parents' house. Dre was the one that invited us out there. And I was telling you this before on Friday. I was like, man, someone must have spilled the beans, and I'm pretty sure it was one of them. It was somebody that can kind of keep a secret, but then got all giddy and like almost ruined the secret.
Uh-huh.
So they had met up with her and Rob and this other married couple. I think it was people that were for Levicon, and they were leaving.
Was it Cat? Was it Cat and what's his name? Cade?
I think so.
Kian, that's his name.
No. It wasn't them.
Oh, okay.
They all met together at this one place, and then they drove away. And they were like, well, Danae was right behind us. Like, and multiple people kept texting her to come to the house. She was like, I knew something was up because all these people kept telling me to go to my parents' house. And Chris was like, yeah, I texted her, and then she texted me back. She's like, why are you over there? And I was like, y'all had no facade for this at all. Like, everybody was
That's the worst. What he should have did was like he should have picked her up, and then like, well, here's how I would have did it if I was gonna propose. First of all, my proposal wasn't anything like this, but what I would have did was I would have picked her up. I would have went to like, hey, your parents said they wanted to have dinner or something. Were their parents there?
Yeah, her parents were there. We were shooting the breeze
a
little bit, talking
hey,
about
we're gonna have dinner and stuff. Have dinner and stuff, and then like have everybody like meet up at a certain time.
Well,
and then,
we were gonna do that. We were originally gonna do that.
Right when he does the proposal thing, everybody like walks in, they're like, hey, what's up? And she's like, oh my gosh, what's going on? And then that's whenever you do the theatrics and the waterworks happen and everything. That's how I would have did it.
Dude, she instantly, well, they were originally going to do that, and then we were going to go to their parents' house to hang out afterwards. And then that's when everything was supposed to happen. But it's kind of hard to do that when I'm walking in with a camera that I've never had before. I borrowed Adriana's mom's camera to take pictures. So she approached the thing, and it was like, what's going on? And then Dre walked her to the door. She went out there and she was like, hey, girl, and like doing the girlfriend's thing and walked her up to the door. And I think at that point she kind of knew something was happening. And I recorded this. I on the camera, I recorded the video for this. She opens the door and I zoom in on her face, and instantly her eyes started welling up. And then Chris was standing there with Tristan, and they were looking all dapper.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah, so he starts talking and his voice is cracking a little bit, and she's already crying instantly, and all this stuff's happening. And apparently everybody behind me was crying, but I couldn't cry because I was like, I gotta maintain professionalism and get this footage. But dude, he did it the right way. Like, I'm pretty sure he asked her dad and all that. Did you do that for Leo?
Oh, did I?
Yeah, did you ask Mr. Tackett?
No, I didn't actually. Because we lived in Austin at the time.
Oh, so it wasn't even like, hey, dude, I'm gonna do this. Oh yeah, how did it go? Tell us about it.
Okay, so graduated in 2011 from South Plains College. Leah graduated a couple of years before that, so we lived long distance. She moved to Austin to go to culinary school, and I stayed at South Plains, got the 2 degrees, all that stuff. I moved over there after we graduated. So 2011, graduation happened. We had a going away party / graduation party. which was super dope. And then packed all my stuff in her car, and then we left, booked it to Austin. She had stayed in a one-bedroom apartment, dude. It was like kind of small. It was pretty small actually, but we lived in North Austin, so like way away from downtown. Well,
Uh-huh.
anyway, lived there for a little bit. I freelanced there, did photography, did video stuff. Started doing the live production stuff. It got busier, so I moved up to Fort Worth. And then Leo was like, "Yeah, like you moved down to Austin for me, I'll move up to Fort Worth for you." And I was like, "Oh man, because
Oh. You
yeah,
should wife
it's
her,
because
dude.
it's a
You should
big
wife
deal."
her down.
Well, that was like it wasn't like the defining moment, but like we had been together how long at that point? We had been together for 7 years at that point.
Oh
So
my
everybody was
God.
like, "Yeah, when are
Who
y'all gonna
does that?
get
You're
married?" It's
crazy.
like people were asking us that, "When are y'all gonna get married?" Like 2 years in, and I was like, "Yeah, we're in college. Like, dang, let's get the education first. Shoot." So we got busier in live production. So I moved up to Fort Worth, where the production hub was. In what year was that? That was 2011,
Yeah, I was
right?
I was still here with X person at the time.
Yeah, that's right. So I moved to Austin in 2011, and then 2012 is when I moved up here. February 2012. That's when I moved up to Fort Worth. And then Leah was like, "Yeah, so like, because she was thinking about getting out of the place she worked at. She graduated from Culinary Academy, worked at the Driscoll downtown on 6th Street in Austin. And she was like, "Yeah, I want to get out of Driscoll. It sucks. Management sucks." She ended up working at the Fort Worth Club in Fort Worth. That's where she that was one of the 3 places she interviewed at,
Uh-huh.
and she ended up getting it like with flying colors. So within the 2 months that I had moved up here, or no, within the 3 months I had moved up here, she had already moved up here. She was already making plans and getting everything ready for that. And then we got an apartment here. So when we got that apartment, it was a super nice. You've been there. The super nice apartment, two
Oh
bedroom
yeah, yeah,
apartment,
yeah.
massive,
I remember.
yeah, massive layout. So we're like, all right, we're gonna move everything from the duplex that I lived in, move that up to the apartment, and then move her stuff up from Austin to that apartment. And we were like, boom, let's do this. So I was like, I got the uncanny idea because it was May 20th of all the days, and this is significance. May 20th was our first date in junior year.
Ma.
Yeah, so what a coincidence that our move-in date was May 20. So I was like, all right, cool. I was like, oh, you know what that means? I was like, we had been together 7 years. I should just propose to her. And I kind of mentioned it to you,
No, no,
like,
no, no, no. Okay, hold up. This is where I'm putting the brakes on this story.
God
You
damn it.
came to visit once. This was before your move, so you were up here. You weren't here for business. You were just here hanging out with us. And me and JJ were pretty much kind of talking you. Me mostly was kind of talking you into it. I was like, dude, there's. And this is mostly from my own experience, because at this time I was with my second serious relationship, going on the third, and
Uh-huh.
I was like, there's nothing else out there, man. Like Leah's the one, dude. Like you were hardcore, ride or die. You went up there for her. She moved there for you. I was like, I don't see why you shouldn't, man. Like
See, y'all like that
you,
how y'all like that how John's trying to take the credit for this?
I'm not, I'm not trying to take the credit for. You actually did it, so you're the one that gets all the credit for it. You're the one that locked it down. But I was telling
Mhm.
you, and it was more of a, I was trying to push you in the right direction because I knew you were already there anyway. Like you were gonna be there. Like that was everybody knew. But I was like, I feel like I should. I have some influence on you. I'm not like like a hypnotist or anything. Like, yeah, you will do this using the force or whatever. But it was like, no, like he's practically already there anyway. I don't see why he shouldn't. So I was like, dude, you're not getting any younger. Your ovaries might turn to dust or something.
Yeah, my ovaries.
No, it wasn't like you all of a sudden woke up and you were like, oh, okay, let's do. I mean, I'm sure I had maybe 15% push into it. Other than that, it was
Well, we
all
had we
you.
had talked about it before too, like over the phone and stuff, and that kind of like it didn't like seal the deal, but it was definitely like a step in the right direction. And it just so happened, yeah, because that was the same visit. Leah got some of her jewelry from her grandma on her mom's side, who had passed away.
Mm-hmm.
So Leah's mom was like, "Oh, here's her like wedding ring. She would wanted you to have it." And I was like, "Oh, I don't have a ring. Like that would be cool. Symbolic gesture. Use the family ring or whatever."
So you're
So
moving
that's
in.
so yeah. So that was the plan, and like it ended up. Uh, we so we moved. we used one of the box trucks, the smallest one. It's like a 12-foot truck. We used that truck to move everything from Austin, and it took 2 trips. First trip was on a Saturday, second trip was on a Sunday. And we were smart. We had movers and all that stuff. So as soon as we got to the apartment complex, they helped us unload everything. So I packed her, or she had packed her jewelry case, this really nice jewelry case. She had packed it first, because like we packed our bedroom in there first, so we had the most furniture in that room. She packed the jewelry case, and then it was sitting on top of our dresser, which is also in the front of the truck, and then we packed everything else. So I was coordinating the gear from the truck, and she was coordinating the gear in the
You
house
know,
when we
like your
fixed up
job.
the movers. Yep, exactly
Like your
like
job
my
at the time.
at the time. And so I guess, everything gets jostled around and stuff in the move. So we get to the front of the truck where all this stuff is. And the jewelry case, she had saran wrapped it of all things, but she didn't saran wrap the top because it was like a lid that opens and it has like a little mirror on there.
Uh-huh.
She didn't saran wrap the top of it and it fell and just rings and stuff and necklaces and earrings everywhere. And I'm like, oh my God, like I'm scrambling because I was like, like me, like a dork, I didn't hold on to the ring. I was like, oh yeah, I'll, to do this thing where we put here's the last piece of gear, lady. And I put the last piece of gear there. And then I open it up and like, hey, what's this? And then I was going to what I was going to say was, you know what? Like I put the jewelry case on top of like the dresser or something, there's boxes everywhere. I was going to put the jewelry box on top of these cases. And I was going to be like, you know what? I don't think I can be known as your boyfriend anymore. And then she would have looked at me, all astonished, like, what the heck? Like, you
Nah,
just
that's a
moved all this
jerk
stuff.
move.
And then I would have said, I can't be known as your boyfriend anymore. And I pulled the ring out of the jewelry box and like, get down on one knee. But I can be known as your husband now. And oh man, that's what I should have did. But I didn't.
But
Because, the box fell down and there was jewelry everywhere. So I was scrambling, picking up all this jewelry, still sending like, here's this end table, here's the couch, here's the bed. And like she just so happened to come up as the truck was empty. I pack up the jewelry box and I hand it to one of the dudes and I toss it off. And I had the ring and I put it in my pocket. And she was like, hey, is that everything, baby? She doesn't talk like that. Hey, is that everything? And I'm like, yeah, that's everything.
You're yeah.
And then like we pay the movers, they leave. We get everything kind of situated, and I was like, oh man, and I had this slick idea. I was like, hey, we should celebrate moving into this new place, this new city. Let's take a shower. We'll make dinner first. While it's cooling, we'll take a shower real quick, get dressed real nice, and we can have like a little dinner. And so the meal, she was like, that's a great idea. The meal that we had was one of the first meals that we had made together. It was spaghetti carbonara. Super
Oh,
delicious. Yeah.
getting your
So I was
Gordon
like, yeah,
Ramsay on.
I was like, so we'll make some spaghetti carbonara, and like we'll dress real nice. And she thought it was kind of weird and out of place, but she was like, oh, but it makes sense though, like, new home and like new jobs for both of us and all
Uh-huh.
this stuff. And I was like, yeah, perfect. Under the guise of celebration. Yes, perfect. And I'm rubbing my hands together right now. Perfect. Good. Yes. So we do all this stuff, cook the food, take a shower real quick, get super fly. And as fly as we could be with like all these boxes like stacked up next to the table. The table was barely set in the right place. It was sitting on top of boxes. Our chairs were boxes.
Oh my God.
Our plates weren't unpacked. We were just eating off of boxes. We cooked the food in
We were
boxes.
eating
It
like
was
a
just
bunch of
terrible.
hobos. We cooked the spaghetti in a can.
No, it wasn't that bad. There were boxes stacked up next to the table though, and like,
Uh-huh.
we unpacked like the pots and pans and stuff real quick. But opened a little bit of wine. She had wine, I didn't because I think wine is disgusting. And so we had the dinner and we were talking like, yeah, like so what's gonna go on for your work and what's gonna go on for my work and like talking about the stuff and marveling at our massive apartment because the one we had in Austin wasn't that big. But so then, it kind of winds down and she's just like, I was like, hey, so I'm trying to remember how I said it.
You pretended
I,
that you had an ache in your knee, and you're like, "Oh, I have to take a knee real
no,
quick."
no, it was super sentimental and super sappy. It was just like, I'm glad that we could have, oh yeah, that's kind of how it went. It's like, I'm glad that we can, we have this, next chapter in our lives and all that corny stuff. I actually
Uh
said that and all that corny stuff. I was like, it's really
huh.
cool though, I was like, we were talking about it, the last visit to Lubbock and I had talked to their parents about it. Not like, like, hey, I'm gonna propose to your daughter, sir and ma'am. Like we kind of talked about it, like, yeah, it's a good time. It's been like we've known each other for a while, and like it was like the right move. And then her parents kind of knew, like they didn't have to. Nobody had to explicitly state it.
Yeah, they're smart people. So it
Oh
wasn't
yeah, they're
like I
definitely
had. Let me
smart.
spell it out for you real quick.
Yeah,
And I
and
also I think that
they.
I feel like that would have ruined it too.
Oh my God, yeah, that would have been pretty bad. But they knew what was up and they knew my intentions, and so and like I said, we had talked about it whenever we hung out that same visit in Lubbock. We
Uh
all
huh.
talked about it too, and it was kind of like, yeah, like this makes a lot of sense. Like we've been through all these tribulations, and we're going through these things again. So it's like it's just logically, it's like it's the next step, like emotionally too, not it because that surpasses logic, as we all know. But so I was like, yeah, it felt like the right time to do it. So we kind of reminisced on that and like kind of the things we picked
Uh
up
huh.
and so then I was like, I'm trying to remember how I phrased it, but uh, it was like, yeah. So I was like, I think I'm trying to remember how this went because I kind of stumbled through it. Like you saw my vows, like I kind of stumbled through it a little bit.
Yeah. Oh no,
As
that hit
smooth,
that pulled the heartstrings in every direction though at your wedding.
yeah. But as smooth talking as we both are, like I still got a little bit caught up on the wording. But it was
You all
basically like,
dirt.
I was like, yeah, and I was like, I love you very much, and like I want to be able to do these things. Yeah, like say like we get a house in the future and all that stuff. Like I want to be able to go through all these things with you. And then like I took the knee and all that stuff, and immediately, instantly, like her eyes just started watering. And you know how the girls do the thing where they shake their hands in
Uh
front of their
huh.
face and then they
No,
put
she
their hands up.
didn't.
She did that like just very briefly. Like it wasn't all exaggerated. She wasn't like screaming or anything, but she did that very briefly because her hands were shaking and she held them up to her face, cover her mouth. And I was like, hey, would you marry me? And she was just like, yes. And now I'm getting all teary-eyed. But yeah, it was dope, dude. And she said yes, and we took a picture. Like she took the picture of the ring. She's like, I said yes, and like
Oh yeah, you sent
everybody
me the
like.
picture, and I was like, "Oh my god!" And then I took a shot at the picture of the shot of tequila that I had.
Yeah, that's right.
I
And
kind of wish
everybody.
being a part of the Danae's thing this weekend. It kind of made me wish that you had did that, like just made a big spectacle of it, like just in front of everybody. I know that's not how you and Leah are, but like having that in front of everybody, it would have just, dude, that would have been like super perfect.
And me and Elijah had talked about it one time, and I was thinking, I was like, he was like, yeah, dude, you need to go all out, like get like a horse-drawn carriage and get like fireworks and like
Get some
meet
doves,
up and
get all
like
that.
meet in the middle of downtown in front of everybody, have your family there and all that stuff. And I was like, well, that isn't that what the and I was kind of I was kind of conflicted by that. I was like, isn't that what the wedding's for though? Like that's the public display, like. And then going back to it, me and Leah had talked about it on our last anniversary actually. We were talking about like the spectacle of,
How long have you been married? 3 years?
we've been we've almost 4 years now
Yeah,
in June.
in June.
And so we talked about it at our last anniversary, like I guess like the public spectacle and all that stuff, and like we knew it made sense for us to do it how or for the engagement to happen how it did because we're not really into like like or even Valentine's Day, like we don't really celebrate Valentine's Day, and I know that's coming up. The month is February
Are
right
you gonna
now,
get
and
her
I'm just like,
anything?
no, we stopped. We celebrated like our first two Valentine's Day together, but then after that, like, because we both worked so much, and we
Yeah.
and we did different things. So it's just like we expressed our love to each other like every day, or like y'all said about the Christmas thing. You said it in particular, like if I'm gonna give somebody something, why not give somebody something every day? Why do I have to pick just Christmas?
And it doesn't even have to be an object of material possession. It could be something that's just either you being there for them or you telling them that you appreciate them. You
And
appreciate
see,
having
and
them in
that
your life.
and
Because
that's
what I
that's what
learned.
I like.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Sorry, that's what I like about the. We have the same philosophy on Christmas. It's like I'm not. Christmas is a very material thing, and
Yeah.
it also originated from a pagan holiday. So Jesus probably hates us for celebrating Christmas, but but like whenever we give something, like me and you, we're very much the same, especially with our friends, towards our friends. Like whenever we give something, we give people our time, and like not like okay, you have 10 minutes to talk about small talk. Let's hurry this up. It's not like that. It's like
That would not be a good way
we
to run
go
your life.
we go for experiences instead of like the materialistic things, which is one of the things like I agree with your philosophy about Christmas because we both have the same philosophy. See, y'all were twins.
No. Because in that aspect, like as much as we agree on things, we tend to disagree with a lot of things too.
Hang on, that's the next point. I was still making. Remember, this is a tangent from the checklist, the tin checklist.
This is also a tangent from me talking about whether or not I believe in fate.
Yeah, that's right.
Go ahead.
Hold on, we'll wrap this up. Don't worry.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, I agree with you on the Christmas stuff. Like, we give all the time. Like, we even still do gifts like for people just for no reason. Like, oh hey, it's
like how me and Adriana got the gifts for we made the customized glass. Well, it was mostly Adriana, but I had the idea for it. It was her making the glasses for Amber, Curtis, and Dom.
Yeah, and it's like, and that's a thing that goes. We're also very we go more for utility with our gifts too.
Uh-huh.
Like, sometimes it's half sentimental, half like utility. Like Chanel. Funny thing about Christmas presents are great. Chanel, I got her like compression socks, which helps with like recovery and stuff like that. Blood flow.
Yeah.
And it also keeps her ankles compressed because she has bad ankles. She's rolled them like a bunch of times. She used to play badminton. She used to compete in world tournaments when she was, I think it was like U16 or something like that.
Dang. Under 16,
Yeah,
for those that don't know.
Oh yeah, so she like she's like a world champion and all that stuff from Jamaica, and I was like, oh my God, like when she was a kid. So like she rolled her ankles when she played badminton and stuff. She plays rugby now, so I was like, oh, I'll get you these compression socks and like the flash drives that can go into your phone. I got her one of those too.
Oh.
Which seems kind of silly. Like, why would you give your friend for Christmas socks in a flash drive? But because earlier in the year, I see that she plays rugby all the time. So it's like, okay, she needs something that she can use every day, and she'll appreciate it.
Uh-huh.
And then with the flash drive thing, it was like in the middle of the year. She was like, "Hey, did you see this flash drive thing?" And she had sent it to me. I bought one before I got her one. This is like around the same time she mentioned it. I was like, "Ooh, that's perfect! Like, I want to try it out. I want to buy one of these. They're pretty cheap." It ended up being dope, so I got her that too. And then just so happens, like a couple months before Christmas, she was like, "Man, I can't do anything on my phone because I don't have any space." And I was like, "Bingo, boom." So like I'm very utilitarian, and she got the Christmas and she loved it. Like all the utilities and all these things, she was like, "God, these are like." She uses the socks still, and she's like, "These are amazing." And like she also appreciates the thought that went into it. She's like, "Because you remember these things, and so like you remember these things, and it means that much more."
It was kind of
it just looks.
It was kind of the thing like we did with Enrique because we bought him a Cabela's card because he was talking about how him and his dad were there, and he was like, it was just like I couldn't buy anything like. I didn't want to use my dad's money. Like he was still like he got ammo and stuff for that, but I was like, okay, we'll get this card and it'll just be for him.
Yeah.
And like with the glasses and stuff, it's like Amber likes to drink wine, so we gave her the customized wine glasses. Curtis and Dom like to drink beer, so we gave him the pint glasses. It's just stuff like that that I think it goes a long way, and it's easier to buy for friends like that too, or people that you know for the longest. Like the gifts you have for like the white elephant or whatever.
Yeah.
That one doesn't really mean as much because it's obviously you're catering to a large group of individuals that anybody can get almost anything.
I was gonna say you also he can steal the present, so he's also like, well, you still got to get something that's well rounded. Like if you got a movie, I think a movie is appropriate for a white elephant.
Yeah, but
it's like hey, here's like you couldn't buy Magic Mike for like a white elephant for dudes.
No, but for Valentine's Day though, Adriana got me a Fitbit. Like that's also of sentimental value and of function because I was using it to track my stats and everything when I go running, or not when I go running, when I go bike riding, and then when I run playing indoor.
Soccer. Yeah.
So I was like, oh, okay, that's like a really dope gift. Like I couldn't top that, but I could because her best friend ruined it for me. I was gonna buy her an art pad, like a drawing pad.
Ooh.
So she can do, because she's doing, I told her about the hashtag that was draw something every day.
Oh, I had seen that. I gotta pitch her a couple of ideas. I just want to see if she can draw it.
So I had did that, and I was gonna buy her a book, and her best friend Hector got her a freaking drawing pad, and I was like, damn it. So I had to switch from functionality to just something for her to have. So I bought her chonies.
Nice.
Yeah, and then I got her like a couple bath bombs because she loves bath bombs. So I was like, yeah, this is right up the alley.
Perfect. It's
Boom.
2 for 1 because even you can appreciate the chonies.
That one has
Yeah,
functionality for me all the time.
that's kind of that's kind of like how our anniversary presents go. Like, not to get too nasty, but the leather anniversary is something to it's a sight to behold. I can tell you that. Shout out to Leah, by the way, for being a good sport, knowing that I'm joking about that.
Yeah, and I hope she doesn't hit me upside the head with the frying pan.
With a frying pan.
Going back to your
I
work, because you ended up getting out of, and I think Leah and Adriana in a way, both in the sense that they're pushing us to do all the things that we do, and it's really good to have somebody like that in your corner. And you don't really think about it much until you're actually like, in your case, working at a record store, just like struggling and like barely making a check a week, and just doing all these things, just going through that struggle.
Oh yeah, dude. We've been through a couple of those. Like, it helps a lot to have somebody in your corner. And one of the things that I think about, people always say like, yeah, behind a man is a strong woman. It's like, well, that works on the inverse too. Like, not and one thing I've learned from being in a relationship for what, almost 10 years now, is like, you're both not going to be 100%. Like, you're both not going to be on your game all the
No,
time. So
no.
it's like, so the times where I was like, when I first moved to Austin, didn't have a job for 4 months, so I was applying for everything. So it's like, when I finally got a job at this place called Buybacks, which is basically like Hastings, but without the books.
R.I.P. Hastings.
I was about to say that. And so like, I was looking for a job for 4 months, and everything sucked, and I hated it. And there's just like, Leah's like, hey, we make the most of this. I don't live very extravagantly either. Like, I don't have all these things I need to buy and all that stuff. So like, cutting back on things wasn't a big deal because I don't really have things that I buy like
I'm
that.
getting to that point now. It's like I had cable before. I cut the cord, and then I had PlayStation View, and I got rid of that because I'm so busy. It's not that I'm so
Yeah.
busy now. Like, I don't have time for life. It's just I would rather be doing something else now, productive and constructive. And that's mostly through Adriana's pushings too. It's like, hey, go
Uh-huh.
do these things that you need to do first, and then you get to do the things that you want to. Not like work comes first and then you get to live. It's like do the things that you need to do a little bit at a time. Like putting
Yeah.
laundry up, which is still sitting in the basket in my room right now. But it's like do the things you need to for a little bit, and then you get to earn the reward, so to speak. But even then, it's not even necessarily reward because when me and you game, which is how we keep in contact with each other, playing the game.
Yep.
I'm doing this because I feel like I need to unwind for a little bit, or whether it's me just like watching basketball and like having a beer or whatever.
Uh-huh.
But this, I think, just us going through the adversity that we have. I mean, yeah, it would have been easy for us to be like, I gotta move back in with the parents again, or yeah, I don't want to do this anymore. But that comes from,
Yeah.
and your job in particular, like you were out in the field with Eagle, like you were doing all these things in live production and stuff, and now you're a freaking photographer, not like a Peter Parker type thing.
That's photojournalism. That's different.
Yeah, but you're out there, dude. You're doing it, and the thing that I envy, not necessarily like, and it's the thing that bugs
Let
me.
the record show he said envy, everybody.
And the thing, well, maybe a little bit. Yeah, I told you this before too. I've told the people that need to know this. I've told them before,
Yeah.
but I do envy it a little bit because I'm like, man, he's been with one person for the majority of his adult life, and he's at the stage where he needs to be now. And even when you were a manager, I was like, why can't I get that? Like, why can't I be a manager? Like, why can't I have the stuff that I have?
Uh-huh.
Mostly with the
Well, that
relationship
was
stuff.
that was out of necessity though, and you already know the story. For those that don't know, it's like my friend Elijah, super awesome dude. Need to need to hit him up again. But he got me the job in live production, and that's one of the reasons why I ended up moving to Fort Worth. Like, he had hit me up out of school. He's like, hey, you used to do live production at school. You want to do a gig? And I was like, yeah. And then another, and then I would visit from Austin to Fort Worth. So I would take the bus up to Fort Worth.
Oh man,
I would
dude,
be here. I would be here for.
you have some
I
sand
would,
taking the bus.
Yeah, dude. Oh, especially like whenever I visited Leah when we lived apart for those 2 years, like I would take a Greyhound, y'all. I would take a Greyhound bus to Austin from Lubbock,
In like
and it
16
was
hours.
12. No, it wasn't that bad. It was 12 hours though, which the drive from Lubbock to Austin is only like 5 hours. It took me 12 hours, y'all, to get from Lubbock to Austin. And so me, like a dummy, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna leave during the day, and I would get there at night, and it would just like throw everything off. But then after the first, I think it was after the first 2 visits, um, I I had got smart, and I was like, oh, I'll just leave at night, sleep overnight, and then get there super early in the morning. Boom, that was like perfect, and it made more sense because she got out of school um in the late morning because they would go in at like 4 and get out like at 12 or noon,
Oh,
or
dang.
sorry, 12 or
That
1 or
sounds like
something
my
like
schedule
that. So
now.
that exactly. So that was roughly the time that I got there. And boom, it was perfect. I
Uh-huh.
would show up at the bus station. She was only like 10 minutes away. Boom, and then we'd go to her apartment, her tiny, tiny apartment. But yeah, having someone in your corner, like going back to the point you said earlier, having someone in your corner like that, like it's not always going to be 100% like I'm going to be your support system no matter what. Like it works the other way around. Like there's days where she's not feeling it, or she's like insecure about something, or she has a question, or she has troubles, and like I do the same thing for her.
It's
And
a
then exactly
balance.
like
It's a balance.
exactly, and it's like that's the way it worked. Like she said, whenever I moved to Austin and I was gonna move up to Fort Worth, like because I got so busy, I had to move. She was like, "Yeah, you moved down to Fort Worth or down to Austin for me. I can move up to Fort Worth for you." And I was just like, then that's when I realized, like, oh man, like
I need to lock it down.
I need to lock it down before someone steals her. It's funny because people are like, yeah, like it's really hard, like long distance, like regular relationships, and I was like, long distance relationships are even harder.
Yep.
And I can tell you for a fact, you were there. We used to call each other every day, and like me being the jerk that I am, like I was trying to like multitask whatever, so I'd be like doing homework and she was on the phone with me, or like I would like play the game and she
Yep.
was on the phone with me,
Yep.
and like
Sometimes I do that too
what?
when we're actually playing though. I'm like, hey, and then I'm like researching stuff that I'm like trying to expand upon. I'm like, oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Like, where are
but like
you? I'm like, dude, I just died. I'm trying to respawn, homie. I'm like, you need to chill out.
I know that's kind of annoying, but that's another point. I'll make that point
This
in a
goes
minute.
back to
But
what
like,
you're saying right now.
yeah, exactly. So we were on the phone and I would be doing something else. And the bad part of that is like when it's long distance, you're like, I'm gonna call you every day, baby, and like I'm gonna like say I love you every day and all that stuff. Like, you get love is an emotion that's kind of it defies logic. Like people, it's been proven you scientifically you get dumber whenever you fall in love. Like you do things that you've never done. You do things that you've never done before ever, and then you're just like you justify it on the basis of like, yeah, this is love. Like for the example of me going to Austin on a 12-hour bus ride. Like that's crazy.
Yeah, not
People
that
are
not that I'm
creepy.
saying that it wasn't totally worth it because it totally was.
No, I don't know. People are creepy on the bus, man. And like this one dude, I'm pretty sure like crapped himself, and it's hard to sleep. It's hard to sleep when you're sleeping next to a toilet that is actually a man.
It's like like man, it just be smelling like dookie up in here.
So
No, but
yeah, it's like
going
oh,
back to us, I feel like sometimes we don't give ourselves enough credit for doing the things that we do. And it's just, I think we come through so much adversity. I mean, it's not like we were like coming from a war ravaged nation or something, or like mom in mom's case coming to America, but we've been
like
through,
Eddie Murphy.
yeah, like Eddie Murphy also. No, we just been through so much, and I think when I was talking to Jeremy about this, like we mentioned it on the last episode, it was we all the things that culminated in life, like it things come, and this is tying back into fate. Things came together the way that they did, and it's kind of crazy that it did because you ended up meeting the person that you met, and now you are doing the hobbies that y'all like to do. Whether it's Leah doing the cosplay stuff, you doing cosplay with her, and then expanding your networks through you through Mr. Photo doing the photography stuff. Shout out to Mr. Photo, by the way. He took our photos for the Sunday Funday podcast page. It's
Oh yeah,
you.
Mr. Photo,
It's
he's a cool
you.
dude. He's a pro, absolute pro.
He's golden. I recommend him to anybody. But no, but going like it's so weird that all these things happen, and I didn't think about it that much until I was talking to Jeremy. It was like all of these things happen maybe for a reason, but I feel like we ended up stockpiling a bunch of skills and a bunch of experiences and a bunch of like learning. I mean, you've been in a relationship long enough. You've been through arguments and you've been through things things to do, things not to do. Me in particular, things not to do. And it's just you take all these things with you, and then it becomes like I think you use that to your advantage after a while. It's like, hey, you see somebody that's in a situation that's not as well off as you, or somebody's going through some sort of troubles, and then we end up coming in there to help. Well, in my case anyway, because I like helping
Yeah.
people. That's the reason why I became part of the Lubicon group, like being a volunteer for that, because they needed somebody with my skill set and somebody with the same beliefs and vision that Danae had. And I was like, I feel like
Yeah.
I can be that person for them. And then I ended up making that promotional video for them for Lubicon 2017.
No, I agree. I'm exactly like you in the fact that not besides the face, I'm exactly like you because I like helping people too. And one way you can help people too is by like actually teaching them. So
Yeah,
like I think
yeah.
you had mentioned it. I think you had mentioned it in the podcast with Jeremy, which y'all should listen to, by the way. The episode 21, is it 20?
It's episode 20. This is 21. This is episode Tim Duncan, fool.
Episode Tim Duncan.
I
What
did
a
this on purpose.
app. It's fate. See, there you go, John. That's fate right there.
No. Well, see,
In your
and
in your
there
face.
are things where you can manipulate to kind of get your way. Like I guess not necessarily manipulate. That sounds kind of maniacal, but like a
Yeah.
job interview. You put yourself in that position, you take all the skills that you learned, all the experience, and then you present it. You pretty much sell yourself to the person that's looking to hire you.
Oh,
And
that's right. Yeah.
whether or not it turns in your favor or not just depends on somebody else being in that position. But like Greg Popovich said it too. He was like, sometimes winning those titles is like it took a little bit of luck. Like somebody got hurt, or we beat the Thunder in this X amount of games. He's talking about Serge Ibaka in that series.
Yeah.
Like we beat them to get to the finals in 2014, and then we came back and got sweet revenge on LeBron and the Miami Heat.
Oh God, I was so burned up about that when we lost to him, dude. It's like, yeah. I was like, and this is the idea of fate. It's like, yeah, like we were gonna win in 2013 because it's like every time the Spurs have been to the finals, we've won a championship, and I was like, yeah, like this is gonna be awesome. And then, oh God, I remember because I was working in my production. We had just did a show on the Trinity River, which is a really cool place. Y'all should visit if you ever come to Fort Worth. We did a show there, and they had a bar, or they had like a pop-up bar. So it was like they were licensed to sell beer and stuff. But
That
in this
sounds
little
awesome. That sounds
it was
dope.
really cool. Like it was an actual bar. Like they had the rectangular shaped bar. Two bartenders were in there. They
Uh
had all
huh.
these stools and like these four monitors set up. It was really cool. And we were watching the finals there, and which is funny because Texas isn't that big on basketball, but all these
It's
people
not.
were
Texas
huddled
is
around.
clearly a football and or rodeo state.
Yes, and all these people were huddled around the TVs, and I guess because the Spurs were in it, so Texas pride and all that. So we were watching the game. It was the last freaking game, and oh my God, dude! As soon as the whistle blew and we freaking lost, I was just like, God dang it! So like we were loading this truck and stuff, and I was just like throwing cases onto the truck, and I was just so mad. That year, that year we lost to what was it, 2012? We lost to the Clippers in like the second round or the first round.
Yeah, because 2011 we got swept by Memphis in the first round,
Yeah.
and
Oh
then
God, I hate Memphis. Well, not
2012.
anymore really because they kind of fell off. But I just,
Nah, dude,
man.
Conley, he's powering through. They still got
But
Gasol. They still got Gasol and Randolph. Randolph's getting old, but yeah, I digress.
yeah, he when we lost to the Clippers in the first round, the fall that year, we were on a show also, and I was sitting watching it on my computer because like the show that we were doing was like it was basically like okay, just a music performance now, so we didn't have any video, so I was watching the game. And then we lost that game, and the chair that I was sitting in. It was this cheapy, like plastic chair. I sat up and I threw it on the floor. And Chanel had never seen me get mad or anything like that before, and she was all scared. Her eyes were all big, and she was like, "Oh my God, like what's happening? You're hulking out." And I was like, "Ah." And I was like, "God dang it!" And I just hate the Clippers so much, and that's one of the things. Like, oh, that's another thing I was gonna bring up about the twin thing too. Is like that me getting mad like that was like in the spirit of competition because like we're both super competitive and like
Yeah,
we're very much the same. We're very much the same in that respect. So it's like being a fan of sports. I was mad for like that 2 minutes or something, and then after that I was just like, this next season, I guess.
And no, then, and I'm thinking the same thing too, because like I shouldn't be comparing myself to you, because we're as much as we are the same, we're totally different people. We're like yin and yang, literally.
Oh yeah.
Almost. But I shouldn't be holding myself to the standards that you set, and I feel like I am, because not only are you my greatest adversary, but you're also on my team. And it's like, if we're peers, pretty much. It's like, yeah, we're shoulder to shoulder on a bunch of things, but at the same time, we're in competition with each other. So when we're shoulder to shoulder, we're also head to head, which is kind of weird. But I was like, yeah, I feel like, and I did my fair share of ruining a relationship, my second serious relationship. That was mostly through the fault of just me. Just that was my own fault. And it
was fate for you to ruin it.
I don't think so, because I got what was coming to me.
I'm kidding.
I got what was coming to me in that sense, but at the same time, I was like, I want to be a manager. Like, I want to be what Joe's doing right now. Like, I want to lead a team. I want to have a stronger hand at what's going on in the company or whatever. Like, I want to have more of a say in what goes on. I want to have a bigger impact, is what I wanted. And that's why it was kind of cool. And as much as we are kind of in competition, whether you know it or not, you don't know it. As much as we are as much as we are in competition with each other, we also help each other out that way too. Because you actually started throwing people my way, like the people that you met at the cons in Dallas. And it was like, hey, yeah, you should check out my brother. And like, we're always doing stuff to either challenge each other or always help each other out. And that's what I think. And it's weird that Adriana knows it too. Like, we're in a relationship. Everybody that has been in a relationship with me knows that it's my relationship with you. It not necessarily to say that it's greater than the one that I have with them, because we can't. We do things that are totally different. Totally the relationship appropriate, but it's like, I don't know. It's just, it doesn't come close to that. But at the same time, the connection that I share with the person that I'm with Adriana, it's different at the same time. Like, yeah, it's just as strong, but it's not as strong in a different sense.
In terms of us being
homies.
Because I think it has that dynamic, and then like even with the relationships that we have, the romantic relationships that we have too, like they're similar because we have that push and pull. Like I said, with the thing, Leah's not always 100%. Like, she has her times where she's like down in the dumps. She's like, I don't know if this cake I'm doing is good, or if the work that I'm doing at work is good.
Yeah, Adriana was like that the other day too.
Yeah, so like I say, like we support each other that way. Like, not one of us is going to be 100%, supportive or even receptive to the support. Like, there's times where like Leo's coming at me like, hey, it's going to be good, or like my freelance photography stuff that I do. I'll be like, man, I kind of stalled on something, or like one of the shoots that I did here recently, actually. Last fall. One of the shoots I did, I was just like, I didn't feel good about it at all. Like, I was editing it and going through it, and it just took forever because I was like, yeah, this shoot was not great. And so Leah will help me, support me then, something like that. And then the same thing with your romantic relationship too. Like, Adriana would do that for you, or you'll do that for her. Mm-hmm. Like, and then we both do that for each other also. Like, like you said, you're motivated by me. Like, whenever I became manager, again, that was out of necessity though. Like I mentioned earlier,
it kind of just fell in your lap.
Yeah, Elijah moved up because somebody else had got out, and he was like, "Hey, I need a video manager," and I was like, okay, I'll do it." And it sucked at first, but then I got the hang of it. But
more recently, my push to get somebody to do something better. Not that he's not doing anything good now. Beetle, my little brother, because he cuts my hair all the time, and it always looks dope, dude. Edge it up, perfect, get cut nice and short, fade it up properly. I was telling him about the stuff, like we kind of had like a half game plan for him to actually start becoming a barber, and then wouldn't you know it, he's working an overnight job so he can go to school in the morning, and that's what I thought was kind of cool too. Like, even though we didn't include him as much, like he's older now, more mature now, so it's easier for us to relate to him as opposed to when we were kids, even though we weren't like too much older than him.
Well, that's when we were kids too. Like, I think the relatability comes into play because, but we didn't know as much. Obviously, when you're kids, you're learning everything. So, like, when we were kids, we were just like, yeah, like, I guess you can play with this too, Beto, or like, I guess you can hang out with our friends too. But like, sorry. But with that, it's like you said, we're grown up and we know more things now. Like
Mm-hmm.
I can tell you for a fact, when Beetle used to freelance with us at the live production place that I worked at, and because we spent a lot of time around each other on those shows.
Yep.
Like we got to talk and like trade philosophies. Like we even argued because we're all
Because we're
we're all
brothers.
very we're not combative, but we hate losing. So like we're very competitive too. So like we
Oh,
would
I know
argue
all about
about
it.
stuff. Yeah, we would argue about stuff, and like we learned. I learned so much about Beetle, like in that time period when we like spent time together, or even like when he would go to Temple when we lived in Austin, we would go up to visit them and stuff, and
Uh-huh.
like I like doing that with Beetle, and like I'm surprised. Not surprised. That's the wrong word. I like the fact that like he's able to do these things, and he has his come up and all that stuff. Like I miss that actually about that's one of the things I hate about living so far away is like I don't get to do that as much with Beetle. Or especially like even mom and dad too, or like my friends that have moved away and all that stuff. It's like um oh crap, I forgot the point I was trying to make. But I was like, yeah, like I agree with you. Like seeing those things come up and like oh yeah, I was trying to link it to the skill set thing you mentioned
Yeah.
earlier. Like you have your tribulations and life experiences, and Beetle is good proof of that too. I'm glad you brought him up because like he had his tribulations. He wasn't the smartest kid, or he didn't really apply himself. He's super smart, but he didn't apply himself. But now, he's like getting everything in line and you're helping him too. And like I talked to him a couple of times about it, but like you're more the support in that respect. Like I agree with you. All these life experiences kind of culminate, and that's why I can kind of agree with your idea of like fate. Like you're well, there's a counterbalance to that though. Like I agree with you in the respect that like yeah, you make your own luck. Like you're very
Yeah.
notorious for saying that.
If anybody is, it's me.
And like I
Apparently,
also can counter
according to
it too though.
you,
It's like
according to you, I have like this extremely good luck.
yeah, you're super lucky, dude. Although that one time we were walking to school in high school, I found $50 in the parking lot. That was cool.
Or that one time you found $20 at the bar we went to that one night, and you bought us Whataburger with it.
It was sitting on the floor. It was like, it was out, not, it wasn't under our table, but it was like in the middle, like I guess where the aisle is, like between the cocktail tables and the booths.
And you had
And I
asked that
just
guy
saw it.
too. You're like, "Hey, is this yours?" Clearly, he dropped it, and he was like, "Nah, man."
No, I was like, hey, did you drop any money, dude? And he was like, I would have dropped like, is it like $100 or something like that? He was like making a joke, and I was like, oh, I guess it's not his, because I stepped over there and I put my foot on the money, and then I just slid it back over, all like super chill and stuff. I'm like, yeah, I found that money too, but no, you're way luckier than me, dude. Like those are just two examples. You're just like, your luck isn't. I don't think your luck is like a specific thing you can identify. Like those are lucky. Like someone winning the lottery,
It's
or like,
passive. It's passive.
or
Like
yeah, your luck is passive.
I'm like Black Cat or Domino.
Exactly. Like your luck isn't based on like these one events, like which how people define it. Your luck is passive. It's like a culmination of things. So like your excursion, I think, is a good example. Your excursion to meet these people at Artopia, like that's kind of like that. And that's where the argument of fate is or isn't a thing. It's like is fate
Artopia?
not the artication? Sorry, Artopia was an event that we did
I was about to
before,
say I
which
didn't
is
go there.
shut up. So like you meeting with the Artication people, and then like that subsequent meeting that you had after that, I think that's like it's weird how it's balanced. So like I'm a firm believer in balance too, not like football offense should be pass and run. I'm just like things the universe will always find a way to balance itself out, like back to status quo.
Yeah.
So like so for the idea of fate, like I know you're not a believer in it. I'm not really either, but we'll use the example like life experiences culmination.
Yeah.
To say like it's fate for you to become like you're in charge of some event or something like that. Like,
Uh-huh.
oh, it's fate. He was destined to be in charge of these events and he's very successful. Or was it fate that you learned these things and it just so happened you directed it towards said thing? You learned all these skills and life lessons and you decided to turn it towards, oh, he runs events now and he's super successful. Do you not
Mm.
agree with that? Like, is can fate not be that way? Like it gives you the resources and then you figure out what to do with it, or is
Yeah,
it
see, that's like putting it
a
in front of
path,
you.
or
Like
is it a path that leads you to one thing?
fate could be intertwined with you as a person, no matter what your abilities are, no matter what your aspirations are. It's something that can help you. It's a guideline, essentially. It's
Yeah.
not like a map, but it's something that you can take loosely with you.
Yeah, and I think the idea of fate being like a roadmap, like all right, it's a path, and you take the path to here. Like I don't know, I
You're gonna
agree
go
with
up
you
this
there.
dirt road, and you're gonna go past these donkeys and all this. Like, no, it's not. It's
And now
not.
you're
It's
and
not
now
that.
you're a donkey farmer.
It's not that linear. And I agree with you in that sense. It's not because I mean there was stuff that I wanted to do when I wanted to be a doctor when I was little. I wanted to be like a weather dude when I was growing up too. I wanted to be an actor when I was actually acting a long time ago.
You're pretty good at it.
Yeah, I'm okay.
You can still. I mean, you got the face for it. I can tell you that.
John Hamm didn't start acting until he was like 32, right?
Oh yeah, he's way older.
It might be in
And
the
now
cards
he
for me.
and now he's doing TurboTax commercials
Get your
about
get your.
being an actor. Like those are the premises of those commercials. Ah, see, it's fate, dude.
That's very meta. No, but one more thing. I'll end this conversation on this. But one more thing I'm envious about too is the respect that you garnered. Like, dude, every time because I ended up taking up those live production gigs with you, like those live shows with you, mostly thanks to Elijah too for referencing me.
Yeah.
I started doing those things like that too, and every time I was on a show, somebody thought I was you. We were essentially doing the same thing, but I
Yep.
was mostly more of a tech. You were like the freaking tip of the spear, dude. Like you were the man. Like everybody knew when Joe was there, everything was gonna be all right. If it was like,
No, like, because you did what I could do, but better. Like, you knew how to run the switcher, and you knew how to interface with the crew, like the production crew. Like, you knew how to interface with them better than me because I knew how to do everything, like stages and lighting and stuff like that. So I was just kind of like the jack of all trades, which we had talked about on Friday,
yeah, we did.
actually.
I don't like being a jack of all trades specifically because I want to be the best at everything, and that's
Yeah.
I know how to do too much stuff. I know I can play poker, I can cycle, I can play Battlefield or do DJ work or video work or whatever. All these things that we're good at, and I can't exactly put my finger on one thing that I'm good at in particular. Like I don't want to be a specialist though, because I know a guy that does the same job that I do, and he's a specialist. For me,
Yeah.
like you were saying, I'm so interpersonal. I can talk to these people. I can get a group of people, a group of individuals to do what I need them to do for the common goal. Not
And I
necessarily.
think that's what, well,
Uh,
see, that's the thing right there, though. Like we hate being called specialists because that means you're only good at one thing.
and I don't want
Like
to
if
be
you
good
need to
just
be,
at one thing. I
yeah,
don't.
if you need to be really good at Photoshop or you need to be really good at video or photography editing or whatever,
Uh
like
huh.
call this person. Like and it kind of like it. We don't like to be we don't like to be limited. I think that's what it is. Like
Yeah.
we don't want to be limited to just one thing. So like that's why we're both, and I'm very much the same way like you. Again, similarities as
And
twins.
Beetle's the same way too, just being our brother.
Yeah, like we're all really good at a bunch of different things, but we don't excel particularly at one thing. But I think the thing that you excel at, and me to a certain degree too, is like our leadership stuff, dude. Like I said, you can walk into a room. First of all, you already have that alpha personality as is. Like people are already drawn to you no matter what. Not like alpha dude bro type thing, but like people, you're a very magnetic presence. Like whenever you enter a room, people notice.
Uh huh.
And so it's like, and that's one thing we both picked up, in reading people is like people, you walk into a room, people notice you, and then it's like we're able to jump in and out of conversations like with different types of people. Like, and that's,
Mhm.
I think the skill that you have that's your expertise is your leadership, whether you actively know it or not, because it's such an easy thing that comes to us. I think that's what it is. Like, it's not a skill that's like, yeah, I've edited 1,000 pictures in my lifetime. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's a stat that you can keep track of. Whereas the leadership thing, it's like it's a little bit more fluid. It's not as something I've led 17 teams. Like, well, what does that mean exactly? You know?
Well, you can't quantify something like that either. It's like
And I think, yeah, and I think that's what we get caught up on whenever we're like, oh, I'm not really good at one thing, except the leadership thing, obviously. Like, that's not quantifiable. We think of being something good at something as like, I have an NBA championship. Like that's me being a good, yeah, you know what I mean? Like it's a tangible thing. Like that's me being a good basketball player. I have an NBA championship, Larry O'Brien trophy. Or like I'm a good,
I have so many first team appearances or whatever.
exactly. Like those are all like for the most part, those are all like tangible things. But it's not bad though to be a jack of all trades.
It's not, and we excel at being in. We're mostly put in situations where something bad is going to happen, or in your case, a situation where you're going to fail. Like something is absolutely going to crush you, but somehow you wiggle your way out of it. And if I were to describe you walking into a room, it'd be like your presence isn't magnetic, but it's felt. People know that you're in the room, but you come in about it on a smooth on a smooth smooth walkway. You don't even walk into a room, dude. You like glide into it.
No, that's not true.
No, but you're very incognito, but at the same time, you're very aware of the things that are happening around you. And I think that's something that we picked up, and I think that's what goes into good leadership is people end up learning these things, and the passive things, like the passive skills. Like part of the work that I do now, I have to realize that this person's good at one thing and this person's bad at something. And then I have to figure out a way around it, either to teach this person to get better myself, or even now, like the people that I've trained, they're teaching this person how to do it, which is kind of cool because I can just kind of sit back on my heels a little bit and just say, okay, I don't have to jump in. I don't have to jump in all the time like I feel like I should back when I was actually learning these things. And it was kind of a hard lesson for you to learn too. It's that you had to take yourself away from it a little bit for you to get more work done outside of that training situation.
Oh yeah, I was actually about to say the same thing about you. It's like that's one thing for teachers. So for teachers, and I think there was a study I read about that, like the how people feel about the work that they do. And I wanted to ask if I could, I would ask Jeremy about it. But one of the things it's like people, it's easy to get caught micromanaging because you know when you're obviously the best kind of teacher is somebody that's passionate about whatever it is they're doing. Like if I was teaching people about coloring, like, and I was really passionate about it, like it's easier for you to teach it if you already have an understanding and a love for it. So like first off, we can start there with teaching, but like whenever we show these people, it's kind of hard to get hands off at first because you know you culture this thing, you nurture it. It's like, hey, you know, I want to teach this person about coloring, and then you show them everything, but then every so often you catch yourself like, okay, but you're gonna want to use this color, you know, to make the sky look a certain way or something like that.
Or you're gonna want to use this. You're gonna color in this direction, or
exactly,
something like
or
that.
you're gonna stipple instead of cross hatching and all that stuff. So it's like you catch yourself and you take a step back. So it's like that means you learn to build confidence in the people that you train or the people that you teach. Like whenever I had to teach my friend Chelsea some of the fundamentals of photography because she's felt really bad about it. The last photography place I worked at before the studio that I work at now, she didn't really have experience. She was a hobbyist. She was like, I need you to teach me. And I was like, okay, you know, there's like all these other people.
Dang, freaking Grandmaster like Sub-Zero.
I was going to say that actually. Not the Grandmaster like Sub-Zero, but I was going to say the Grandmaster part. I'm a master because I teach somebody something, right?
Yeah.
So then you become a grandmaster because they teach somebody something. So that
I was telling my boss the other day actually, because we got a new kid that's working with us, and my coworker, he's training him, and I had started talking about how deep my roots go, and how many branches I have in my tree of teaching at the place that I work at now. And it's like, oh man, I'm the Greg Popovich of training. Not like that Phil Jackson nonsense who was it Brian Shaw not even coaching in the league anymore, Derek Fisher not coaching in the league anymore.
Who thought that Derek Fisher was a good idea?
New York.
I could see Luke Walton working. Like that makes a lot more sense because he was more
no. Here's the thing about that. Luke Walton is a disciple of Steve Kerr. Steve Kerr, I feel like learned more than he needed to coaching through Greg Popovich. So in a way, 6
sense.
degrees of separation. Greg Popovich is coaching the Lakers. No, he's not.
So it all comes back to the grandest master of all, Greg Popovich.
He would manage that team way better than that. Oh yeah, go ahead and round out this thought of yours.
What was I going to say? So yeah, whenever you teach something, you're very passionate and you care a lot about it. So whenever you teach somebody else something, it's hard to not micromanage.
Mm-hmm.
But once you gain, like you said, you read your students or you read the person that you're teaching something to.
Or
So whenever
even
you
just
read
somebody,
them,
even just somebody giving you an outside perspective on it. It's like, man, you're kind of hard on him, or you're kind of being picky about things, and then that's when you're like, okay, I'm loosening up on the reins a little bit. I'm gonna take a step back.
and that's one of the things I like about the work that I do, and even the work that you do. Like, it's very collaborative, and I'm super down. First of all, as a photographer, like, or as an artist in general, like, you got to be down for collaboration. You know this,
I do.
you do the DJ stuff, music stuff, you do creative video work, so it's like you have to be open to collaboration and open to teamwork. So like, that's one of the reasons I love photography and being able to teach it is because it's a very collaborative thing, and there's always more than one way to do something. Sometimes,
Oh, absolutely. I
some,
teach everybody that. Like, there's literally more than one way to skin the cat.
and there's sometimes they're not always effective. Like it takes 10 minutes to do this thing, or instead of 2 minutes to do this thing, but like
Mm-hmm.
you'll still learn another way. And like one thing about collaboration is like it opens you up to all these different these avenues of thinking, creative thoughts, and so
Problem
forth. Like,
solving, all that.
and I feel like playing in sports and stuff has kind of like helped us out with that because like some people, and like you said, you need a second pair of eyes. Like we used to do short films, so like whenever you would do all the editing and I would do all the shooting for the most part. Like I was a director of photography. We both directed, but I was the director of photography running the camera, and you were the editor.
Mm-hmm.
And so like whenever I needed a fresh look, I would come to you. We would go over the footage we shot, and it'd be like, "Okay, what do you think, dude?" And you would be like, "Oh yeah, this kind of sucks." Like, or why did you do it this way? And then the same thing around. Like, you would ask, like, you had been editing, for a couple hours. It's like, okay, I've been looking at this thing over and over. You would call me in, and you would ask me like, "Hey, how does this look to you?" Or what do you not like about this? And like the same thing with
Sometimes
me.
you don't see. Sometimes you're zoomed all the way in at like 1,000%, and somebody comes in looking at it like at 200%. They're like, "Oh, well, this is something that you need to change with this." And I think that's what works well with both of us when we were working as a team, or even when we're working with our teams now, is that we're also open to constructive criticism too, and
Oh yeah, you have to be.
we're also open to straight criticism. Like, you gotta have a thick skin you gotta have a thick skin to be in life anyway, not just the professions that we're in with video production or whatever it is.
Yeah. Well, just to be a leader too, because you have to come to terms with your shortcomings too. And
I
that's
also come to
something
terms
that,
with the failure. Like, sometimes when the
yeah.
team fails, it comes on to me. I know this immediately. That's why I love the job that I have. Is I like the pressure that keeps pushing me to do better, and I know
And
that
it gives
the sense of responsibility, and also comes with the sense of oh man, what's the word I'm looking for?
like reward.
Accountability.
Oh, accountability.
The
Yeah.
responsibility comes with the accountability, and that's what I like about it. Like, okay, I enjoy being in this position of leadership, but I also have to know that this is also what comes with the territory too, and I don't shy away from that. Like, if something ends up being my fault, I usually take the blame for it, and you have to
I'm the
as a
same way.
leader.
I'm the same way.
All right, man. We're gonna change things up a little bit. I mean, we can go on forever about this. We're probably gonna have a two-parter when I get to Fort Worth. But for everything to stay on top of water cooler conversation, whether it happened this week or coming up, it's What's the Word?
The following program.
Modern style.
What's the word?
This is usually Amber's thing, so we kind of scour the internet with whatever's trending at the time. But I found some stuff that happened early in the week, and I'll let you in on a little bit of this. John Wick comes out this Friday. I'm super
Oh,
excited
shoot.
about that. We're probably going to go see it on Saturday, though. It's like a Valentine's thing for me and Adriana.
Oh man, I think we're gonna go see it. We might see it opening night. I'm super down for that.
But it's good. You know, he's 52 years old, Keanu Reeves?
He doesn't look a day over 40.
Dude, I want to age like that, and I think we will.
I think we will.
Speaking of pop culture and entertainment, they got a first look at Stranger Things Season 2. The kids were looking all cool in their Ghostbusters outfits, probably a little Halloween theme. I haven't seen the full season yet of Stranger Things right now on Netflix. I heard it was dope, though. You saw it.
Yeah, I did see it. I wasn't, and I was against it because we're both kind of like counterculturalists. Everybody was all boners up about like, oh, Stranger Things is awesome. You gotta see it. And I was like, I'll see it when I see it. Ended up watching it, and I liked it a lot. The first 2 episodes were heavy on like nostalgia, like callbacks to old '80s things and all that. But once they got past that, I was in, dude. I was in. I was like, all right, cool. Enough with the callbacks and the reminiscing nostalgia. Like, get to the story, and it was pretty good. You should definitely watch it.
Oh, okay. I usually go with things based on what you say, so I'm just gonna do. That's how I do it.
Well, I do that too. Actually, you saw Suicide Squad, and I was like, okay, I agree with it.
Yeah, that was one you could have missed. Staying in entertainment, Marvel's Runaways finds its cast. It's this story about a bunch of kids that find out they're the sons and daughters of supervillains. Found its cast. Also, Cloak and Dagger also found their cast too. They're the 2 leads for that, which is kind of dope, dude. Marvel's on the come up, and then we got Iron Fist in March, dude.
Oh, I'm excited for that. I'm super down.
Me more than you.
No, not really, because we both have we had that exposure to martial arts when we were young. Dad did all that stuff, and like we watched all those movies and stuff. So like, dude, I'm super looking forward to this.
Netflix released a list of 11 movies with insanely hot sex scenes just in time for Valentine's Day for you and yours.
What?
Yeah, that's a thing. There's a list. 11 movies. 11 movies with insanely hot sex scenes on Netflix.
What movies are these?
I don't know. I post a link on the page and you'll get to find them out.
Well, I wanted to know now so we could, research.
Yeah, for research purposes. Anyway, sticking with something sexy, Prince's music will be available for streaming starting February 12th, which is next week, and that's all coming out on Spotify, according to Nerdist. You got a favorite Prince track?
My favorite Prince album?
Oh, album? Well, dang, we going album? Don't say Purple Rain.
I was gonna say I know Mom's favorite album might be Purple Rain only because of the movie. Dude, she used to watch that movie
all the time.
Oh my god. So if Mom had Spotify, Mom, if you're listening, she definitely is not. But if you are listening, if you get a Spotify, February 12th, Prince, you're just gonna just make one playlist called Boner Jams or something, and it's just gonna have all of the Prince in it.
Boner Jams?
Boner Jams. That's an Elijah term. Elijah said Boner Jams. Apparently he's like, yeah, you gotta have music to set the mood, whenever you have sex or whenever you bone down. And I was like,
I've never done that. Oh, okay, no, I take that back. One album I did that with was Block Party's Intimacy.
Ooh, that doesn't really make sense.
It kind of made the most sense. Anyway, here's the thing. You were talking about oh my god, you were talking about Snapchat earlier. According to Gizmodo, they're losing up to 514.6 million in 2016. Actually, that was the reported losses that they had.
Holy Christ!
Yeah, it's not out the door.
How do they make money?
Through advertising. You have like Uprocks, and you have all these entertainment. You have Complex, and you have all these entertainment magazines and websites that have like a personal feed in there too. So they're probably paying money to be on there.
Oh, okay. So it's like Instagram has ads in their stories now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, I hate that, man. I hate that Instagram has it out of order too. It's like, here's the one you're gonna like the most based on your preferences.
Oh,
it's like, yeah, I like butt cheeks and everything, but I don't want to see that if I'm in the grocery store and like there's an old lady behind me.
Yeah, just let me check the shopping list here. Oh, there's a booty.
Just drop my phone and then it's on the ground face up where everybody can see it, and then they see it anyway.
And it's like zooming in and out because your phone's broken now. So.
You got anything for me?
Speaking of the Spurs, Greg Popovich is the single franchise record NBA wins. 1,128 wins.
Yeah, shout out to Coach Pop, dude. Sam Jackson actually gave him a shout out too. He said, "Congratulations, Coach Pop, winning as coach in NBA history and still going strong!" 2 exclamation points.
It was against the Denver Nuggets, so who cares about them? This is a dork thing to bring up. Mariam Mirzakhani is the first woman to win the Nobel Peace Prize of Mathematics.
Oh, dang, really? Wow, really? It's 2017. Oh my god.
She's Iranian, and she got the Fields Medal, highest award in mathematics, aka the Nobel Prize of Math.
Dang, that's pretty impressive. It's a pretty good thing to close out on.
So Super Bowl's coming up.
It is.
Right?
Yeah.
That's today. Coming up. It's today.
At the time of recording, it's Sunday afternoon. We're about an hour away until kickoff. But yeah, it's today. Who you got, dude?
Who I got? I want the Falcons to win.
The Falcons?
I want the Falcons. Yeah, I want the Falcons to win. But I think it's really good. It's a more of attrition at this point. Like, both teams are kind of banged up. And it's really about who makes the least mistakes.
On defense. Because they're both going to be... Yeah, they're both going to be gunning.
Oh, but the article I had here, Georgia aquarium animals root for the Falcons. So this is a video that they released on Friday, and they have animals and the staff cheering for the Atlanta Falcons. They got otters up in here. They got albino dolphins, which are super rare, by the way, cheering for the Falcons also. And,
I think they should be worried about their self-preservation instead of figuring out who's going to win the Super Bowl. They'd be like, yeah, you know what? I don't want to vote for a team. I want to just try to be alive right now and spread my seed about.
Well, that's why they're cheering for the team, because they don't get fed if they don't cheer for the team. Oh yeah, but the Super Bowl's happening, and there's this article that came out on NorthJersey.com, powered by The Record. They have a crazy amount of calories eaten during the Super Bowl. Let's see, the largest number of calories, up to 6,000 calories on average.
Damn.
Eaten during the Super Bowl.
I don't think I'm going to eat nearly as much, and if I do, I'll just run it off thanks to Fitbit. Tracking your every motion. Or is it life in motion? I think their slogan should be life in motion.
I'm pretty sure that's a slogan that exists.
Not yet.
Oh, but speaking of eating, last thing I got here. Scientists discover why you hate the loud sound of chewing.
Oh, because it's annoying and gross?
Researchers from England's Newcastle University, it's misophonia, a condition where the person hates the sound of chewing, or repeated cling picking.
Ugh.
Clicking, yeah, that's what I meant.
So if you're gonna eat around all your homies at the Super Bowl party, or even anything in general, whether it's like a corporate meal or a meeting, a brunch, you're around a lot of people, just keep it proper, please.
Chewing with their mouth open, like when they chew gum, they're just like.
Amber said her dad does that sometimes. Ugh.
Oh man, we had a dude at work with us. He couldn't eat and breathe at the same time.
Oh my god, you're talking. Oh, I know who you're talking about.
No, that was there when we worked. We both worked there, but here lately, at the place I work at now, the studio I work at now, it's like this dude could not do that. So he would just be like, it would just be the most innocuous thing, like, hey, here's like a slice of pizza. But he was like chewing and like he was like snarling and like breathing and panting, and so it basically sounded, he was just like.
Oh God, nah.
Got pizza. And it took him forever to eat this slice of pizza, dude. It took him like 20 minutes to eat a slice. It was just like one of the girls that works with us. She was like, "This is gross," and she left. She was like, "I'm gonna go eat outside," and she just went.
She's like, "I want
not outside.
I want nothing to do with this," and just I'm out.
Well, not outside, but she stepped out, and just like, this is just super disgusting. But yep, that's it. That's all I got for you on What's the Word.
Some disgustingness. I believe this is all the time we have for this. We're pushing an hour and 45 minutes, which is the longest podcast we've had so far. Thanks.
Woo! Next time I'm on, I'm going to set the record. I'm going to go 2 hours.
I'm going to try. I couldn't give you cues or anything to like cut through stories short, but nah, dude, they were insightful, and I'm glad we got to catch up. Not playing the video game and shooting fools in the head and squadding up and dominating.
Oh man, it's worse. Our like competitive and everything, teamwork and all that is amplified anytime we play sports or like the game or anything.
But it's not like stupid competitive though. I mean, it's within reason. No. It's not like I'm trying to go play pickup basketball and like start elbowing fools or whatever.
Or you think you're in the NBA? Oh, I cannot stand that. Like
calling fouls every time. Like
yeah.
Nah, I don't do that.
I hate that.
Dude,
but yeah, dude, I'm glad you got me on. I wanted to be on in person, but
we could have did that for Thanksgiving. It could have been us.
We kept talking. What?
I said we could have did it for Thanksgiving. Could have been all three of us, me, you, and Bito. But nope, that didn't end up. Well, we were with the family anyway, and we were playing. Well,
yeah, like whenever I visit on those occasions, like we were there for such a short amount of time because of Leah's work.
Nah, man,
So
it's
that
all
we try to
good.
cram all these things that we can in like no, I'm saying like we left late, so we try to cram all the stuff that we can in like a day and a half. So,
It's all good. I'm not worried about it.
but next time, dude, next time. I'm glad that you got me on though. It was fun.
And next time for everyone else as well. Thanks for joining us on the Sunday Funday podcast, and remember to tune in on iTunes, SoundCloud, Google Play Music, and YouTube. And for those that don't know about the Facebook page, make sure you like and subscribe to any and all content that we release. I'm coming out with a special video soon, kind of what our mission statement is at the Sunday Funday podcast. It kind of extends into the other one that I'm working on, Artication. Be sure to follow them on their Facebook page as well. They're almost pushing 300 likes. Have a little prize set out for them, I think. They got something up their sleeve. All I do with them is just produce it, so I don't really know too much about it. Again, thank you for joining us.
Peace, peace, peace.
Have a great week.
Your coat is big and I am warm. I'll ask if I can walk you on. All gray like the gravel under her shoes. The sky doesn't clarify.